Do you have an estate tax problem? Everyone needs basic estate planning, a will or a trust that designates where you give your stuff to at the end of your life. That's getting the right stuff to the right people at the right time with the least amount of transfer tax. But the estate tax is paid at the second person's death, and that gets levied on your heirs. And so if you're trying to create intergenerational wealth, you need to be paying attention to this now. So to start, you ask the question, do I have an estate tax problem? To figure out if that's the case, you need to know what your net worth is. To find your net worth, look at your personal financial statement and add in the estimated value of things like closely held businesses, real estate, or any asset that you have control over. From there, we can understand if you need to be thinking about planning. While the exemption is $13.6 million per person, and each a husband and a wife get that now, 15 months from now, at the end of 2025, that amount will sunset. Now this is a guess, but as the Tax Cuts and Job Act goes away, it'll probably be about $7 million per person unless there is legislative changes before then, which means if you're single, you can exempt $7 million from estate tax, and if you're married, you can exempt 14. If you're in this net worth range, you probably don't need to be doing advanced planning to avoid an estate tax for your kids and grandkids. If you're worth a tremendous amount, for instance, you had a large liquidity event, you're worth over 30 million, you have approximately 15 months to plan before the estate tax amount sunsets to half of what it's currently at. Here's where it gets extra tricky. You're in this interesting in-between. This is a custom planning area where you really need to do the math and figure out numbers about what your assumed spending is and how much you can keep in your estate versus how much you should get out of the estate for intergenerational planning. I say this often, but estate planners are great as long as you're willing to do one of two things: die or give away all your money. That's a joke, but otherwise you need to do some good planning.